Hey, good morning friends. Jeff here from Bygone with one last video of this spectacular 72 Grand Prix that I've been gushing about in all these videos. I wanted to do a standalone video just going over options and just safety features and things like that on the car, because a couple things weren't working properly. Directionals weren't working when I took it for a test drive. And then I didn't realize until I was doing the documentation video that this car has a power trunk release. I didn't even realize it. Before we get into that, one of the things that I just absolutely love about original unrestored cars is how nice and solid the doors close. And those of you who are into unrestored cars know exactly what I'm talking about. And gosh, I just want to take a moment just to close the door a couple times on this car. It's just nice and solid. There's no tinniness or it doesn't fight you. It just, everything opens, the latches, everything's adjusted properly. Oh, I love that stuff. Yeah, and so this car has power trunk release, and I didn't know where the button was. I'm like, hey, there's no console, or there's no glove box. So sure enough, it's here in the console. Down at the bottom there. Let's give that girl a push. There we go. Lo and behold, power trunk release works. Holy crap. If you notice in the other videos too, lighting works. All the auxiliary lighting in the passenger compartment operates. Dome light works in the trunk. Just a super honest car that you're not going to be chasing tons of issues with. It isn't like you look underneath and there's a rat's nest of wiring and stuff like that. If you even take a look up in the fuse panel, there's so many striped fuses left in this car, so it just hasn't been screwed with. As I mentioned, the horn sounds like the low tone doesn't work, so we got just the high tone. Lights operate on the car, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn lights on. I did put a new bulb in that cornering lamp. Tail lights work. Going along to the front here. High beams do operate as well. So again, you're not going to be chasing a bunch of things. Hey, did someone notice that there's still a power beam bulb there on the passenger side? I think that's pretty cool. Let's check directionals. I actually haven't checked them now since replacing that bulb. So there's left. Nothing. What the heck? Give me just a second here. Okay, so sometimes I've had to start vehicles to do directional. So left directional works. But now I'm feeling like maybe the right directional isn't operating. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it just flashed. Okay, so directionals are good to go. It was just that bulb that needed to be replaced. Here we go around the front here as well. Okay, so with the car running, you can see that generator and oil lights operated when I started the car. Fuel gauge does not work, so that sending unit will have to be addressed. High beams do operate. See there, and you can see them flip up on my truck, so that's good to go. Wipers work on this car. Lighter does work. I'll push that in. Notice the blower motor does operate. So the multiple speeds do work. The only thing I couldn't get it to do was flip to defrost. And sometimes, it just takes a little help with that vacuum flap to get it closed. Not something that I'm going to investigate. But just again, want to let folks know that, hey, the blower motor operates on all the speeds. Radio does not work. Did not investigate that beyond just, you know, testing it here, but no sound. But if you notice in the other photos in the trunk video, that the original speaker is still back there and is in the original cardboard case and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. What else? You know, I went through the rolling down the windows, but here you can see passenger side window goes down really well. So again, no issues. With any of that stuff at all. And then I did the driver's side in a couple videos, but that spins nice and free too. You can see here too, you know, the car will run a little meh for about 30 seconds or so, and then smooths right out. I think that has to do with that choke. And again, I didn't investigate it, gang. If it were a keeper, I would just send the carb out and have it rebuilt, and you know, and go from there. But you know, once the car's running for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, she's good to go. No hesitations or anything like that. Accelerates smoothly. Just a good, honest car, all in all. Thank you so much for putting up with all my videos. I greatly appreciate it. I'm thinking of things as I'm talking here. Notice the clock, of course, doesn't work. Speedometer does work. We saw that. It's nice and quiet as well. Did not test the parking brake. I'm not going to. You know, I don't know. This is nitpicky. I don't even know if we'll be able to tell. I think the center console might have a lamp in there. I don't know if this car does. I think the Monte Carlos do. I always forget if the Grand Prix did. Hey, that's all she wrote, gang. Thanks so much. I appreciate everybody's interest. We'll do a quick restart, maybe. I'm trying to think of anything else here. Again, car fires right back up. I know I'm going to mention in the ad that sometimes after long drives, I think this car might suffer from heat soak. And so she doesn't want to restart right away. It'll crank, but I do think due to heat, I think that fuel is evaporating in that fuel line, you know, right up near the carburetor. If you let it sit 20 minutes or so, she fires right back up. But that's something, again, you know, when I talk about little things that the car needs, those are little things that I would investigate. But under, you know, cold conditions, you can shut her down and fire it back up. And, you know, and when I say cold conditions, I mean the car's been running now for 10 minutes. But I'm saying if you go out for, you know, 60, 70 miles at a crack, it might, depending on the weather, might give you some issues. Thank you. Thanks so much, everybody, for your interest, and don't hesitate to reach out with any questions you may have. Take care.